What is up, gang? Thank you so much for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. Week number 1. Match number 1 is in the books. Finn Balor and Sasha Banks versus Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura. And we are here to talk about it right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, baby. And you might be wondering, why the hell is he wearing Sasha Banks glasses? Well, check out my song and you will find out following the intro to the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it, baby!
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for checking out the channel, and if you want the answer to why am I wearing these glasses, here it is. This is why. Check this shit out, man. Look at us. Look at this trio. Isn't this magical? This is amazing. I'm gonna fin freeze. Everybody should do this. If you have the capabilities to do this, you should do this. And I found this picture while I was looking for stuff to do on the Mixed Match Challenge. And I have these glasses that I bought for my daughter. And I said, I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it would be friggin' hysterical. And I'm trying to not laugh at myself right now, as you might see the smirk on my face. My name is Nick Nightmare. I am the boss around here. And this is Blue the Snowball Microphone. He is my second in command, and this is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. We're having some fun tonight. We are going to have some fun tonight. We're not usually here on a Wednesday. We ain't usually doing this thing here, but the Mixed Match Challenge dropped last night, immediately following SmackDown Live, and I tried to enjoy it. Now, let's not take that the wrong way. I did, in fact, enjoy the show when I finally was able to view it. Unlike, or maybe much like, many of you guys, I was unable to really get the stream. My lag was so bad, just so bad, and it kept freezing on me, and I was not enjoying it. So I stopped the feed, and I came here to hang out with Blue and to do our SmackDown Live review, which, if you missed it, is live on the channel right now. You can go check it out when you're done checking this stuff out over here. And I decided to watch it when I got home from work today. I have watched it, and I have to tell you, it's one of the reasons why I'm having so much fun tonight, because it was only maybe 15, 20 minutes. I didn't time it. It didn't feel long, but it was fun. It was a fun show, and I have a few reasons why that is. We had the Boss Club, Sasha Banks and Finn Balor, taking on Nakamura, as I like to call them. It's Natalya and Shinsuke, the King of Strong Style, Nakamura. This match was so much fun. You want to know why that is? First of all, let's talk about the show a little bit. I actually enjoyed the format. It kind of reminded me of a WWE Superstars back in the day. Like, they had hosts. They had Renee Young and Byron Saxton. They were serving as hosts for this event, which made it feel different immediately. Made it feel a little bit special. Not that Byron Saxton's anything special. After how he flubbed last night on SmackDown Live, I don't ever even want to hear his voice again. But tonight was fine. I liked having the hosts. They were throwing it to the video package segments, which were introducing tonight's competitors, showing them in these very unique video segments, which I really, really enjoyed, and I will get to that in a minute. But it absolutely just was a different feeling show. How you can accomplish that by literally being in the same arena with the same fans in the same setup as SmackDown Live, yet have a completely different feel and aura about the whole thing, is just great. It's great. It felt more of what I actually want from my wrestling. And here are some of the reasons why. The phone promos that they had for these tag teams were very, very different from the ones we saw last night for the Royal Rumble participants during SmackDown Live. Those were somewhat forced, maybe a little too scripted. The participants were not looking into the camera correctly and things of that nature, so it felt unnatural. It felt tremendously down your throat, especially pertaining to the women, much like Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, who shouldn't even be cutting phone promos and shouldn't even be in the Royal Rumble to really begin with. But tonight's phone promos were fantastic. Do you know why? Because these promos were organic. They were improvised. They definitely were not reading from a script, because the WWE couldn't come up with the stuff that Sasha Banks and Finn Balor were saying. It was absolutely entertaining, and it's because they were just being themselves. That amped up little bit, just a little bit, turn the volume up of being Finn Balor and Sasha Banks. They were gelling together backstage. You see them becoming a team, forming some type of a bond, formulating some sort of camaraderie that's actually making you believe, like, hey, maybe, maybe this ain't such crap that I'm watching. Maybe this is legit. Maybe this is cool. And I actually think it is. Now, we're basing this off of this first episode, which has featured a very, very good match. That is always one of the key telltale points. We had a great match. Normally, mixed tag team matches are horrendous. Absolutely terrible. Look at what we got at WrestleMania with John Cena and Nikki Bella and The Miz and Maurice. That wasn't a mat classic. You never usually get a classic. But in the case where you have a Finn Balor and a Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring, you're going to get great action. And we definitely did. And the fact that it wasn't hindered by a commercial break at all, the announce team was not that bad. We are going to get a little bit more into that in a minute when we get to what I didn't like. But I don't understand why they can't take everything they did here tonight and apply it to the tag team division on SmackDown Live. They made these team-ups of these male and female superstars look like more legitimate tag teams than every single one that's on the main roster, maybe outside of the Revival. Even in the case of Shinsuke Nakamura and Natty, as silly and maybe a little bit bordering on the cringe side as it was to see Shinsuke Nakamura in Natty's Snapchat in cat face doing the thing, you couldn't help but laugh. It's a little bit like, Shinsuke, really, man? But you have to be like, that's cool. Like, they're becoming a team. Why can't they do that with the real teams? So it really gives something to this show, because although it's only going to be a one-and-done type ordeal, we know that every team is going to disband when it's over. This isn't starting anything big, you know what I mean? But what we're seeing is a lasting pairing. Like, you can really get behind them, because Natty and Shinsuke were really kind of funny with one another, just like we're seeing with The Miz and Asuka. I hated the announcement of that team. I thought this pairing was going to be absolutely ridiculous. But when you seen the promo that The Miz and Asuka cut tonight going into their match next week with Carmella and Big E, you can't help but laugh your ass off. Asuka was fantastic. The fact that they turned her name into the team's name by adding "aw" in front of the "ska," because obviously "aw" is for awesome and Asuka is awesome, and Asuka is a great tag name. I wasn't for it when I first read it. I hated everything about the pairing, but then when I seen it happen tonight, that promo where Asuka just went off and then they started chanting together, "We will win because we are Asuka." It's great. You're not going to get this kind of shit on main WWE television, and I think that is the key. Why did I have so much fun? Because these guys are out there having a fucking blast. They are having so much fun out there that it transcends through the TV screen. You can't help but enjoy yourself in these 20 minutes that you're watching this. You can't help it, because you see the genuine fun in their emotion. You see it in their movements, in their face, how they're just interacting with one another as a team and with their opponents on the other side. You know, playing with each other, teasing each other. Natty and Shinsuke. Shinsuke's trying to get Natty to do the thing. She looks like a spaz trying to do it, probably like I do. I probably don't do it any better than Natty, but he's like, no, you know what, maybe not. You know, maybe you don't do it. And Natty's like, no, yeah, I can do it. Within like 30 seconds, you've established that there's a bond there, that there's a chemistry, and you would not expect that from Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now let's just talk about the match for a second. The match itself held up very well. The action between the boys was fierce. The action between the girls was very, very good. I cannot help but believe that the girls, at least in this matchup, stepped up their game. Maybe it's because they were in there with two of the greatest male superstars in the world today, and they felt some sort of a need to perform on a better level. Or maybe, aside from the fact that they were just probably told to go out there and have a fun match and were just out there having a good time, maybe being relieved from the constraints of the pressures of a Monday Night Raw and, you know, listening to the referee and having to cut to commercial and make sure you're doing all your spots before and at this minute and that minute. You know, maybe these handcuffs ain't there. And it comes through in this match. They were having a blast. And so did I. And I can't understand why they can't do these type of things that they did tonight on the main show. All that being said, let's talk about some of the things that we don't like. Because you guys know, say it with me, we bring down the hammer here at the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. And there's not really that much to get too upset about. But we're going to rein it back, like I said. This is not the greatest show I've ever seen. My excitement and me having fun in this broadcast might be overselling it just a bit. It was just a one-match show, so let's not get crazy, Nick, right? Like, let's calm down. We're talking about one match. And you're right. Let's calm down. I'm having a little bit too much fun. And let me tell you why. I think this match could have been given a little bit more time. I didn't like that it was kind of so short and that the Mixed Match Challenge episode was mostly full of adverts and video packages and filler. And then the match sit nicely in the middle, probably about 12 to 13 minutes. I think it could have been given more time. Although when you look at it, they're not going to risk their guys getting hurt in this thing, I guess, so they're not going to allow them to give us 20-minute tag team spectaculars. You know, and at most, your action is limited because there's only so much that the men and the women can do with each other inside the ropes. And they did a great job of that tonight. Natty made her presence felt. She actually interfered at one point without ever touching Finn Balor. She seen him going for a coup de grace, and then she would run into the ropes, causing him to fall off. Sasha Banks as well ended up breaking a 2 count where Shinsuke and Natty almost won this thing. So the action was there. It just felt kind of rushed at the end. The finish of the match almost felt like it came a little bit too quickly, and Shinsuke did not get pinned, which was a positive. Natty tapped out to the bank statement. That was your results for this match, as Finn Balor and Sasha Banks will move on next week. And I just expected a little bit more out of the guys. I got more than I expected out of the women, absolutely, but I expected more out of the guys. A minor thing to complain about, but I thought if they really wanted to, you know, set the tone here with this first matchup, they really could have went out and really got at each other, especially when, you know, they should probably consider the fact that this may have been their one and only encounter on the WWE roster. Not only because Raw and SmackDown respectively have each superstar, but because the WWE probably would never do it in a real deal main event scenario, maybe for some sort of a major title. Much like how we want to see Shinsuke versus AJ, Shinsuke versus Finn would be fantastic as well. Just as it was at points tonight, it was very, very good. But I also thought that they should have came out together as a team. They did so well, like I said, portraying these team-ups to be bonding and gelling backstage and getting to know one another, or maybe some of them have a long-standing history with each other that they're going to play off of. So why not, like, mash up the two theme songs? Do it special. You're promoting this as a special thing. It's going to be different. It's going to exist outside of the realm of the actual WWE storylines. So make a little mashup song. Pay CFO to mix the two songs together. It's only like a 2 or 3 minute mashup you need. It cuts down on the time of the show. You get them both out there together. They look like a more fluid team. Maybe they start dressing alike. It would be much more for the overall package. It would just make everything seem a lot more special. Maybe they don't want to do that because they don't want this show to outshine anything else. Not that I think it really could. I mean, it's only available on Facebook when it's live, which, as I told you guys at the beginning, was a horror for me and probably for many others out there. So it's better off you wait for it to be done and then go back and check it out on YouTube, like I did. That's another thing. They need to fix that immediately. It cannot be that all the other people complaining, like myself, have bad internet. Because, first of all, I don't. I don't have a bad internet connection. I have no trouble streaming any services that I have. Netflix doesn't give me a problem. YouTube doesn't give me a problem. Hulu doesn't give me a problem. WWE Network doesn't even give me a problem anymore. It used to, but it doesn't. This Facebook server or whatever it is they were running it off of definitely probably did not expect the response that it got. And it affected the quality of the stream. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. You may have watched it crystal clear and fine, good for you. I did not have that encounter. Another one of the things that I did not like was Beth Phoenix. Now, you know what? Let me not say that. I don't want to say I didn't like Beth Phoenix. Because you have to forgive every single thing that happens with Beth Phoenix throughout the entirety of this thing. Maybe if you want to get mad by week 12... then maybe, because after 12 weeks of being back there, you should get into your groove. And this first episode, I'm not going to come down too hard on her. Bless her heart, she tried her best. But she has never been in this situation before. She was on the headset for the first time in her life, and I'd have to say she did okay for her first time ever. She probably did better than I would do on my first night. And I don't know whether that has to do with she was maybe intimidated by the whole scenario, or, you know, as she mentioned, her whole travel into the event was not a pleasant one. She apparently traveled 600 miles through a snowstorm. Maybe I misheard that. Maybe 60 miles in the air through a snowstorm or some sort of an Arctic storm to be here, and maybe she was a little rattled, maybe she was a little jet-lagged, I don't know, but there was something a little bit lackluster about Beth Phoenix on that announce desk tonight. To her credit, towards the end of the match, when things started to go down, I felt like she finally had a little bit of an excitement in her voice, because she was very, very mundane. She was holding herself back a lot, you could see, and you could definitely hear. She was not confident in her voice. She was not confident about what she was going to say, so she didn't say anything very loud. Everything was kind of like this. And then Michael Cole and Corey Graves would be blah, 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 and Beth Phoenix would talk like this. And then by the end of the match, she was like, oh, Sasha, you know, is getting excited that, you know, whatever she said. But towards the end, you could see maybe she was maybe starting to feel something. So you have to give her the benefit of the doubt. And hopefully it progresses as we go along. Lita was not any better on her first night, and she got better progressively. She could have been a whole lot better than she was, let's be honest, hammered down. But Beth Phoenix, we'll give you a pass, but you made it a little, you know, on the ears. We'll be nice, and we won't go any further than that. The last thing that we're going to talk about is, if you watched the preview and predictions where we broke down the tournament brackets, you will know that my prediction was wrong. I hate being wrong. Who likes to be wrong? I hate being wrong. But essentially, what this proved to me with Finn Balor and Sasha Banks winning tonight is that my theory that I also went over in that video is completely out the window. Because if you didn't watch that video, I'll sum it up very briefly. I stated in my preview that Shinsuke and Natty most likely were going to win this thing just based upon the placement of the teams in the brackets. Because I did not believe that at any point during this tournament they were going to have a Raw versus Raw or SmackDown versus SmackDown matchup. It's the Mixed Match Challenge. It's Raw versus SmackDown. So I thought they would have at least, done that. That one SmackDown team's going to advance, one Raw team's going to advance. That, I guess, would make it too predictable, so I'm a little bit glad that they did that. But there is no way Big E and Carmella get past The Miz and Asuka next week. There's no way. So we're going to have Finn Balor and Sasha Banks versus The Miz and Asuka. I think in week 6 it is, or week 7. That's going to be your next round for that Finn and Sasha are going to face. Absolutely. So we're going to have Raw on Raw action. And as dirty and pornographic as that might sound, that is might not be in the best interest of this tournament, but we're not going to pick and tear this thing down just yet. Because like I said, I had a great time watching these 20 minutes, and I want to thank the WWE for not doing what I thought they were going to do and just give us a one-off match that was going to be full of commercial interruptions and nonsense. We got a legit match from start to finish, and it was good. It was a good way to start this show and to start this series as we continue our coverage each and every week until we hit the end of the Mixed Match Challenge tournament. Sasha Banks and Finn Balor are now being told to me, I don't know who is representing what charity. And I think that's one other thing I would like to point out before we sign off, is that they could have done a better job of highlighting the charities. If this whole thing is for charity, these should be all over the place. They like to put all kinds of logos and shit everywhere to promote themselves. Why not throw all of the logos around? Bring the awareness to everything as it's going on. Don't just have some video on Facebook where the team announces who they're fighting for and now nobody knows what. Because I didn't know nothing until the conclusion of this match where they announced that Finn Balor and Sasha Banks are fighting for the Special Olympics. An absolutely fantastic cause, and I wish them the best. I also wish I knew how the hell this whole thing was going to break down, and if everybody's getting a piece of the pie just to participate, or if the winner's going to get the whole bag. What is happening? But like I said, those are minor complaints. We didn't really bring the hammer down as much as we just kind of tapped it today, because I had a fun time. And you will too. Go check out the Mixed Match Challenge. If you want to watch it on Facebook, go ahead. If not, you can check it out on YouTube, just like you check me out on YouTube for all of your news, rumors, and highlights in the world of sports, entertainment, and pro wrestling. Thank you guys so much. That is going to do it. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone. Do not forget to be one of the many that have been coming out in force and subscribing to this channel. All you got to do, hit the little word that says subscribe, ring that bell that sits next to it, become part of the notification club so every time a video just like this one drops, you will know the very second that it does. And then you can come on along and watch that one, and do me a favor right now on this one and smash that like button and share this video with everybody you know that's watching the Mixed Match Challenge and that might enjoy everything that we do here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you so much. That is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time, right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Sorry, couldn't find the button. Not the first time. Won't be the last.